Hey, welcome to this online course of Climate Launchpad. My name is Frans Nauta. I'm one of the founders of Climate Launchpad and a trainer. And what we'll do in this online course is give you some basic concepts of what it is to start a company, so you are better prepared once you enter the program of Climate Launchpad. Let's start with Climate Launchpad. How did we start this program? Because in the end, Climate Launchpad is also something that is an entrepreneurial activity in itself. Some people had to start this thing. So how did we get to this? Well, in the end, it's sort of simple insight. If you think about a virus that takes over the world, well, it's a really complicated thing, but in the end, there's a really simple solution. It's called a vaccine. So once we have a vaccine, we've solved the problem. If you think about climate change, it's even more complicated. So we can't have one vaccine to solve it. We need thousands of solutions. And those solutions need to be in how we produce energy, how we clean our water, how we could work with our waste, how we produce our chemicals. Like really, more than 1,000 complicated problems. So how do you attack 1,000 complicated problems? Well, not by trying to fix them all at the same time. Then I have 1,001 problems if I try to make it really big. So the smart approach when you have many problems is to look in many ways for different solutions. And those solutions need to be in different areas, and they also need to be fitting with the local context, because the problems I have here in the Netherlands, where we're recording this, versus a country in Africa, versus somewhere in Australia, probably we need different solutions in those locations. So how we started Climate Launchpad was from that insight, that we need thousands of people working on solutions. And the best way we know is by starting companies. So that's why we came to our motto. Our work is to try to fix climate change one startup at a time, and also one country at a time. So right now we're running this program in more than 50 countries. More than 2,500 teams have joined over the past 6 years. We started in 2014. So this is how we got to be. And you can now become part of this movement of entrepreneurs across the globe trying to fix this problem. Now, doing all this work, of course, is not free. It takes quite a bit of money. We get that from the European Union, and we're super grateful for that. More specifically, the European Institute for Innovation and Technology, EIT, and within EIT, the climate program. It's called EIT Climate-KIC. So before we start off with the program, just a big thank you to them for making all of this possible and making it possible for you to join this program. Here's a map of where we are right now. The goal is really simple. A few years from now, we want to have this whole map green. We want to run this program in every country in the world, because in order to fix this global problem, we need solutions in every country in the world. Now, why do we focus on companies? Well, of course, there are many ways that you can work on climate change. It can be about government regulation. You can join a non-profit like Greenpeace or some other organization that is working on putting it on the agenda. You can join a local community. In your community, work, for instance, on waste management. You can join a political party, be active there. They're all very valid and useful ways of trying to work on the problem. Why we focus in Climate Launchpad on entrepreneurship is because, well, there's something very powerful about companies. If you work on an idea in a small startup that really works, it can grow really, really fast. So you can build enormous scale. So that's why we, in Climate Launchpad, specifically focus on companies. Does it mean that your goal needs to be to get rich? No, because, the goal is to make enough money in the company so the company can grow. You don't have to be able, you don't need to be interested in making a lot of money to want to build a company. A company is just a very powerful tool to have impact. So let's look a little bit into entrepreneurship. What is it? Well, let's start with some examples. So here we have some people that most people will recognize that, yeah, those are entrepreneurs. So Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, and the guy from Amazon, I always forget his name, Jeff Bezos. So these are entrepreneurs, right? They built companies, they became very famous with it. And then the question often people ask is like, yeah, well, but they were born as entrepreneurs. Like as if it's something of a DNA thing. So somewhere in your cells and it programs you to be an entrepreneur. Well, one thing we like to think in ClimateLaunchpad is that we need a richer set of examples of inspiring people. Because you may have noticed, these are all white guys from America, right? And it's not as if there are only men being entrepreneurs, and it's not that as if they're all only in America. So let's get a diverser picture here. All these women and men are also very successful entrepreneurs. The media don't just write that much about them, so you may not know them. So let me explain to you who they are. So here on the left is Anita Roddick, and she's the founder of The Body Shop. And The Body Shop was sort of the first ethical and environmental friendly way of producing beauty products. Very successful entrepreneur. Next to her is Mariana Costa, and she founded Laboratoria in Peru. And what it is a startup that trains low-income young women to become web developers and connects them to opportunities for projects and for work. Next to her is Jasmine Grove. She's from Gooder. And Gooder is a startup in Atlanta. And what they do is they basically help companies with their food waste and give it to people that need it. People that have with low incomes that can sort of are in need of good food. Next on the left here is Strive Masiyiwa. And he's from Zimbabwe and started first an electricity company that then evolved into a company doing sustainable energy and telecommunications. He's one of the most successful entrepreneurs from Africa. Then in the middle is Cindy Mee, and she came up with VipKit, and it's a name I love. What VipKit does, it connects teachers, mostly in North America, but also in other countries, for remote teaching and supporting students that need extra teaching outside of school. And then on the right, from India, we have Vijay Shekhar Sharma, and he founded a company called Paytm. And what that is sort of a PayPal, but then in India, so a financial company. So entrepreneurship is about more than the US and about white men. Let's agree on that. And then the next question becomes, but well, is this something in your DNA, or can you actually learn to become an entrepreneur? And we're kind of curious what you think about that, because is this something that can anybody be an entrepreneur? Or is it just, is it limited? Why don't you write in a short statement what your opinion is here? Are people born as entrepreneurs? Is it in their DNA? Or is it in how they learn it within the family? Or is it something that anybody can become? Have fun.